And then I woke up and I was like, oh man, it never happened.
That's not a dream. That's a nightmare.
A modern podcast where Chris and Mike talk about TV, movies, superheroes, and everything in between. It's time for Superhero Slate.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Superhero Slate, the show where we run down the latest superhero entertainment news.
We love TV, movies, and superheroes, so let's talk it all out.
My name is Chris Dillard.
And my name's Mike Royer.
And we have Star Wars rumors today, Mike.
Oh,
we have
juicy rumors.
I know, Marvel clarifications, which I like even better. And the latest information on the not-so-demanded Hasbro Cinematic Universe.
I love how, I love rumors and you love clarification.
Yeah, well, that's why we work. You like to speculate, and I'm like, I need facts. I need the truth. You can't handle the truth, Mike.
Yeah. Man, it's kind of funny. I was breezing through the show notes a little bit for today, and I've noticed we've kind of calmed down a little bit in comparison to the past couple weeks we've had. You know, we've had like a crazy whole month dedicated to like Daredevil and Batman vs Superman and all the news coming out of those movies. And then we had all these trailers last week. We had so many trailers last week, and we even got a couple more this week. But I feel like we're, I guess you might say the calm before the storm, because Civil War is going to be next week.
Yes, so yeah, I agree with you. I was looking at our site earlier because you did some updating, and we now have the Google Play link on there, which is really awesome, by the way. I like it. And we are now a full month away from our spoiler cast. There are no spoiler casts on our front page after today. Which feels weird because it feels like we just did that yesterday to me. But we're about to get down to doing, one spoiler cast a month coming up here, if not more. And Civil War is so close. Like, someone in my comic book store saw it at one of the early screenings, and he was like, oh, you know what I really liked about the movie? And I'm like, la, 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 and walked out of the store before he could say anything. So I was like, nope, not doing this today, man.
Yeah, I don't know how these people keep sneaking into these screenings like so early. I was at work, and I hear like a very slight gasping because one of my coworkers wanted to ask my other coworkers very excitedly about Civil War that they got to see, and then they started chatting away, and I had to reach for my earbuds as quick as possible. I threw them in, and I just hit play on the first thing that started playing audio on my computer. And I was just like, oh no. And then people kept trying to talk to me, so I had to keep taking these earbuds out. So I had to concentrate on this one person while trying to block out a Civil War conversation on the other side of me. And I was just like, oh, it was crazy. It was ridiculous. This is the downside to making these movies come out a little bit early for some.
Yeah, I mean, there are benefits. Again, I feel Marvel is confident enough to put it out early, but for us common folk who can't seem to get, early tickets no matter how hard we try, like, yeah, it's just a full-time job ignoring that stuff. So,
yes. I
mean, especially because, like, I make these news notes, and you scroll down into an article, and then there's, like, a little gif of something from the movie or a TV spot, and I'm like, oh my god, I saw it already. I can't take it back.
Yeah, you can't unsee it.
I can't.
But I wanted to talk a little bit before we got into the news, a little bit of a public service announcement where we're getting into the summer movie season, and once the summer movie season tails off, these movies are going to start being available on the internet to download illegally, and I've started to notice we're getting to that time now where it's kind of pointless to pirate movies anymore because they're so easily available on the web now. So like we kind of went through the same thing with music. Like, people don't really pirate music anymore because it's just like silly. You can subscribe to like any number of services for like $10 a month, which back in the day that was like a CD, and you get basically all of the music ever. Like, even Spotify now has the entire Beatles category, so you can't even use the excuses of like, oh, some of the best music ever made out there isn't even available for streaming. It is. So the music went that way, and now I feel like movies are finally there. Like, the last couple movies that I've watched, I've either gotten them from Redbox, or all I did was I just went on YouTube, I typed in the name of the movie, and then bam, right inside of YouTube's player, I could just pay them like $5 and I could rent the movie and watch it in HD, and I had it like instantly right away. So basically trying to say, you don't need to pirate movies anymore. Start paying for your movies, people. But I'm personally not saying I am innocent, because I'm hoping for things to trickle down to TV shows. So TV shows, since they're really heavily embedded in a schedule, things don't come out at the right time, and some countries don't get things at the same time, and there's so many different TV streaming services. But this is basically my roundabout way of saying that I subscribed to HBO Now last night, and I'm going to test it out and see how well it works with Game of Thrones and Silicon Valley tonight.
So that was going to be my PSA, is Game of Thrones is tonight. Don't spoil it for people tomorrow. Give them a couple days. I don't care. I don't care for Game of Thrones. It is not my show. I watch it because my fiance watches it and she has friends who come over. So yeah, I downloaded it illegally. I'm going to be honest with you. But I don't care enough about it. Like, I don't care about the show. So, but it's funny you mentioned the movie thing, because I actually downloaded a movie this morning. Wink, wink. But it's something I wasn't gonna go pay to see, and so I really don't care. So, but I don't do it all the time. You're right. Like, it's much easier for me to go on iTunes or Vudu. Actually, I use Vudu a lot and get a movie than to do that to download it. Nefariously, is that how you describe it? But
well, I mean, speaking of movies, I was really surprised because I knew with HBO Now I would be able to see all of the TV shows that basically HBO's ever had, so I was expecting that. But then when I clicked into the movies section, they actually have a nice decent chunk of movies. Obviously you're not going to get like a huge lengthy library like Amazon Prime has or even Netflix has, even though Netflix pretty much concentrates mostly on streaming TV shows now. But yeah, I was looking in their movie section and like, holy crap, you can stream Jurassic World. What We Do in the Shadows was on there. Ooh. Trainwreck was on there. They actually have like legitimate like new releases on there. And I'm sure that stuff cycles out probably a lot quicker, just because if I can remember the few instances I've had interacting with like HBO in like a cable TV form, like things kind of come and go like through seasonally. But there's like legit like real like high class movies on HBO Now. So basically, I think it might be worth it. I mean, it's $15 a month, which seems a little pricey since it's the most expensive of the 3 streaming services that I have. But basically, I'm going to let people know in the future, down the line, if HBO Now is working out. See, we got to move away from getting stuff for free and start paying for it.
To me, HBO Go would be great for Game of Thrones watchers, because you're paying you get 1 month free, and then you're only paying for 2 more months to get all 8 episodes or 10 episodes or however many. It's 10, right?
Yeah, usually.
So, I mean, for $30, you've watched the whole season and plus extras. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty good, because you don't have to. You're not paying for a year. You can cancel it. So that's. Yeah, I see that. I see the benefit in this, Mike. I'm picking up what you're throwing down.
Thank you, man. That's basically my PSA.
Well, great. Well, thank you for that. We appreciate it here in America and not America as well.
So, do you have a PSA around caring for your computers?
Oh my gosh, I could. I don't want to go on to it too long, but I do take care of my computer. My laptop, as everyone may or may not know, died in the middle of recording last week. It gave up the ghost pretty bad, and it was a 4.5-year-old machine. Thankfully, Apple was able to replace it for free, but it got me thinking, you know what? This laptop can't last forever. It's like a car. At a certain point, you're going to be paying more to fix it than you are to, keep it. And I went ahead and bit the bullet and bought a brand new 2016 iMac, and
fancy
27 full inches, Mike. You have no idea. So, as you called it, my battle station, I am holed up here recording Superhero Slate on this brand new computer, putting it through its ropes today, and as long as it doesn't overheat itself, which it doesn't feel hot at all, I think we'll be fine.
All right, awesome. And that's what I like to hear.
What that means is you're not going to hear those jet engines taking off whenever I start clicking on images, too, because the fans in this aren't that loud. So, my computer's fine. Thanks for all the well wishes and the get well soon cards that nobody sent, and I appreciate it. So.
But it sounds like we are fully prepared now to deliver the news.
Yes. So after nearly 10 minutes of ranting, let's jump into this news here with some Marvel's Iron Fist information.
Ooh, okay.
So first off, some more casting announcements have come out. Casting the siblings, Joy Meachum and Ward Meachum. We talked about Harold Meachum last week, getting cast by the guy who was in 300 and Lord of the Rings, but now they've cast his children, who from this image from Twitter shows that Danny, Rand, Joy, and Ward grew up together, and this looks like Era 2001. So They also said he's been gone for a long time. They don't know where he's been. So I'm going to be interested to see what kind of backstory they give Iron Fist. And as they film, they have some behind-the-scenes images that people took. I'm not going to bring those up nearly as much because it seems like they're taking a very active place on Twitter with a lot of these teaser images now. And casting
it seems like they're gonna bring in a bit of a family dynamic, at least with this Meachum situation. I don't know a whole lot about Danny Rand's backstory, so I don't know if family is heavily involved with that story, but maybe that's going to be an angle that they're going to take with this story.
Yeah, I believe his parents were murdered by or offed by the Meachum the Meachum father because he wanted their fortune.
Man, that is just the best way to make a supervillain or a superhero, is just to kill the parents.
Yeah, well, I mean, as long as his mom's name's not Martha, I think we'll be okay. So, but yeah, this is some Iron Fist stuff. I think it's cool. Again, I'm probably more excited for Iron Fist than I am Luke Cage, to be honest with everybody here.
Well, also, we haven't really seen much Luke Cage, which is funny because that's kind of the next show coming out.
Well, yeah, we had the little trailer we talked about where he has to buy new clothes. And then he did play a big part in Jessica Jones. But I guess I'm just not nearly as excited because Iron Fist adds something new to the story that Luke Cage isn't. We've met Luke Cage. We know he's got unbreakable skin. Sure, we'll learn about that. But Iron Fist is mystical martial arts. That I want to see some.
I want to see some kung fu so bad.
Yeah, we dabbled in it in Daredevil, but I think this will take it to that next level that we're all craving for. And I believe this will be the last one that right before the Defenders that sets us up for the Defenders. So it gives a lot much more pressure on it. So I'm really, really excited for Iron Fist on Netflix. I'm also excited to see Spider-Man in like a week and a half. I don't know how many sleeps that is off the top of my head, but I will tell you later on how many sleeps it is till Civil War. But Spider-Man Homecoming, all right, it's got some stuff. Robert Downey Jr. has officially joined the movie as Iron Man.
Yeah. Yeah, now I'm kind of waiting to see if Chris Evans is going to join the movie, but I have a feeling that's probably not going to happen because I'm sure we're going to get that dynamic enough in Civil War. But I think this is kind of cool. Like, I wonder if how much Downey Jr. is going to be involved.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. They didn't say if he had to renegotiate his contract or add on to his contract, but we've always talked about what would happen once his contract expired. How much Iron Man would we get? Well, it seems we're getting about an Iron Man movie a year right now. With Iron Man in it, he took off 2014, but Chris Evans took off 2013. So I'm glad we're getting a lot of these guys before they kind of have to reshuffle and launch us into Phase 4 and other stuff like that. Which also, with Robert Downey Jr. joining, it gives us some more news that Michael Keaton has apparently dropped out of talks to be in the film.
Oh man, that went fast.
Yeah. Again, who knows? We talked a lot about. I believe it was Kevin Bacon was in the talks for a role for another film, and he dropped out of it pretty quickly. Or somebody, not Kevin Bacon. I don't remember who it was. I remember it was for Doctor Strange. It was the guy with the long hair who was in Gladiator. What was his name? He's got.
I don't know.
It's the main bad guy in Gladiator, and someone's going to tweet me this later. And I know people out there listening are going to be like, "Oh my god, it's this guy." He was in Signs. He was the guy in Signs with the baseball bat. But I feel horrible. But he was in the talks for Doctor Strange, but he dropped out, and that's when we got Benedict. So I think we got a better choice anyway. Michael Keaton dropping out, that's fine. They'll probably get somebody else. We'll probably hear some more news because this movie has to start filming later this summer, to get out for next summer. And
it makes me think adding Robert Downey Jr. in it, because they've been talking about how Marvel's Phase 4 is really kind of starting a new chapter for all these characters in the studio and stuff like that, and it feels like they're really going to leave like this kind of chapter behind them. So maybe they're kind of putting in these little snippets of these bigger characters in these new movies to kind of push the newer characters forward and highlight them. I mean, obviously Spider-Man doesn't need the help. Everybody knows who Spider-Man is, but story-wise, I think it might work out well. So, if we don't get any more Captain America movies or Iron Man movies after Civil War, I think I'd be okay with that. Maybe they just pop up every once in a while.
Yeah, I think it might be better for him too. Because I think after Iron Man 3, a lot of people aren't okay with Iron Man 3. I'm fine with it. But Captain America has a lot resting on his shoulders, and we're gonna shoulders, not soldiers. He's a soldier. Dang, I'm struggling over here. But we'll find out when Civil War comes out how well that holds up, and cross our fingers it's well. which brings us to our next point. We talk about Phase 3. Avengers Infinity War is kind of the capstone to Phase 3, I guess. It doesn't begin, but it ends Phase 3, as we'll talk about later. But Jon Favreau, the director of Iron Man 1 and 2, has clarified that he's an executive producer on these films as well. Which doesn't really mean anything. It's like Stan Lee's an executive producer, but he doesn't do anything, right? But I mean, it's cool to see that, you know, they don't have beef with him because he didn't do Iron Man 3. And
yeah, I mean, with Infinity Wars, you know, really kind of summing up this almost not even Phase 3, but all of these phases. I mean, they have to do it in 2 movies. It makes sense to bring in someone big like Jon Favreau, because as I've been hearing, I'm reluctant to say this, but apparently The Jungle Book is good. Jon Favreau directed The Jungle Book. I kind of thought it was going to be a bad movie. It looks like I was wrong, but it got pushed out of that calendar year where I was putting it in my list, so it's fine. I can admit it now. But he is a talented director. He brought Iron Man into the sun, so I think we can trust him with Infinity War.
Yeah, again, who knows what his capacity will be. He may just, you know, they may just brought him in, you know, like, hey, you want to, if we need a suggestion, we'll go to you, kind of deal.
Yeah, maybe.
But also, Jungle Book is a movie I downloaded this morning. Wink, wink. So I don't know how I feel. I'll have to watch it and see if I agree with you or not. But we talked about 67 characters in Infinity War, right? And this has been clarified by the writers and the directors, and such that the writers were going through all the introduced characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and who was still alive, and had them up on the wall whenever they were working on the script. Not that they were going to use them all, but as a checklist, this person is still around, this person's not. Because, you know, you may think, oh, we use Agent Sitwell, he's awesome. Oh, yeah, we killed him back in Winter Soldier, kind of deal. And I think that's what they said. And I think that makes a lot of sense. We may not see all 67 named characters, but I think that makes sense when you're writing something. You need to keep track of who's alive and who's where, so you can bring them into the fold organically rather than just assuming they're just going to show up there right away.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think you could effectively cram 67 characters into 1 or even 2 movies, because at that point in time, you're just looking at like you're watching like a football movie where you're seeing all these different football players on the field. Nobody really gets acknowledged. They're just kind of running into other people. So I am glad to hear that we're not necessarily getting 67 characters.
Yeah, and I don't think it ever was either. I think we could sit down one day in like an hour and figure out all 67 characters they're thinking of, and it would actually probably not be very hard with 13 movies under their belts at this point. So that's cool. However, this is the directors have confirmed another character will be in the film, the one that we've already met, so it's nothing new. One of these 67. Do you want to know who it is?
Wait, so I'm confused. So they've confirmed another character, but they're saying they're pulling from a roster of 67 characters. So I don't really understand what new means. Just
so this, like, we say there's a roster of 67, but not everyone's going to be on the field. This is one of those 67 who will be on the field for sure.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, just go ahead and tell me. I think this movie's far enough out.
Okay, it's Scarlet Witch.
Okay.
All right, so she might make it out of Civil War is all I'm saying.
Gotcha.
But again, with a lot of Infinity Stones coming up, death may not be something we deal with anymore, because who knows what Thanos is going to do when he comes knocking on Earth's door, man.
Yeah, as we all know, Marvel Comics likes to just start fresh and wipe things clean. So who knows, maybe they'll end up doing that in the movies at some point in time.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think they really like to start fresh and wipe things clean, but I mean, I read them, Mike, and you occasionally catch up. So, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just being.
Hey, I was looking up the trade for Secret Wars this morning on Amazon, because I think it's finally like collected into one book.
It is. The hardcovers, I think, or it's like $50. It's really expensive, but
I'm getting it anyway.
It's really nice.
I gotta watch these universes crumble in front of me.
It's pretty good. Let me know when you start reading that. I want your play-by-play reactions on Secret Wars.
Gotcha.
So we're going to switch it over here. I was playing Marvel Heroes on my computer this morning, okay, as I said earlier. One of the characters I was playing is actually Captain Marvel, who is our next bit of news. So the director and actor will be announced by Comic-Con at the latest, per a news source today that I read. And the cryptic hint is, he said the actress and the director have the same first name.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of the frontrunners think Emily Blunt will be Captain Marvel. I don't think she will be. I think she's kind of a little too high, but not high enough in Marvel's like standpoint, like I think they like to bring in fresh faces sometimes. And so one of the directors, maybe Katherine Bigelow, and then I don't remember the actress's name, but it's a Katherine but spelled differently. But I think it might be Katherine Bigelow and this other Katherine girl. So
maybe Katherine Heigl? I don't
No.
so.
It was she's very unknown, but she's apparently by age 21 she had 3 martial arts studios that she'd opened by herself.
Oh geez.
So
okay.
So she's very active and very fit, and like she has the blonde hair and the look, and I think that would be pretty cool to kind of do an unknown in that role, but we'll have to see. I don't know any directors named Emily. So
yeah, I don't know either.
What if it's Charlize Theron and Charlize Sheen?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Oh, damn.
I don't think so. But I like this Cryptic hint. It's fun. It gets a lot of people guessing.
Yeah, I think that's like I would much rather, like this is a fun game. Like who's it gonna be? Like let's like a bingo card and start putting people together and see what we come up with. I'd be down.
Yeah.
I'd be down with that. So Captain Marvel, we got a little while to wait. I think she comes out in 2018. 2017, 2018 range. But in the meantime, next year we get Thor Ragnarok. A little bit of news on this. Thor Ragnarok, the working title for the film is called Creature Report.
So if you're walking across any movie sets anywhere on this planet and you see a little title card that says Creature Report, maybe take a second look and see what's going on.
So
there.
yeah, I think again we talk about Thor being kind of lower on our list of Marvel films overall. But how excited we are for this one, kind of being like maybe a Planet Hulk kind of film. But the fun thing about working titles is that means they've reached a new phase in pre-production status, where they're actually like, we have a working title, we have to start, scheduling this out.
Yeah, we got to start labeling. We got to start labeling things around here, and I can't just put Ragnarok on everything because then all the nerds will start stealing it.
Yeah,
so we got to put something else on there.
Yeah, and Creature Report's kind of interesting because that's a very unassuming name. By my standards, I would never think to look at that. So, kind of like Spider-Man is the Summer of George. So, I would look at, which is a Seinfeld reference. So,
yeah,
totally get a kick out of that. And in all, this is where my saddest news of the week comes into play.
Man, yeah, you didn't even know how to segue into it.
I don't.
You were struggling. You're struggling as soon as you saw it.
I am. So, Marvel's Inhumans no longer has a release date.
Oh man.
So I actually am going to take a positive stance on this and look at it one of two ways. One, Marvel has made a deal with Fox about Fantastic Four, and they're going to try to tie the Inhumans into Fantastic Four, much like how they were introduced in the comics.
When did this happen? Hold on. Fantastic Four, is this happening for sure?
No, this is. I'm saying that they've made a deal with Fox, and they're going to announce Phase 4 starting with Fantastic Four. Because
so you're basically creating a rumor on your own at the ground floor of Superhero Slate episode 67. But this is your theory.
Yes, this is a theory
rumor.
Secondly, maybe again, I think having no release date to me is better than shifting a movie around 18 times. Because they had it and then they pushed it back because they doubled up on Infinity War and added Spider-Man. They've also added Ant-Man and the Wasp. Then they added Indiana Jones 5. So, rather than moving it around kind of like, oh, we got to move it here just to wait and then here to wait. Like, let's just take it off. Let's make it a part of Phase 4. When we announce Phase 4, Inhumans will now be a part of that slate. Rather than trying to cap off Phase 3 with Inhumans, which didn't really make any sense to me. In the long run.
Yeah, and I believe that's what I said on last week's episode. It makes sense to put the Inhumans in a fresh new phase. Because, they had to do quite a bit of legwork in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to kind of just get the idea of Inhumans out there. There's this whole thing about this whole ancient culture. There's aliens, there's crystals, there's chrysalises, and there's transformations. It's really, there's a lot there. There's a lot going on there, so it's not the easiest thing to get across to an audience that's not familiar with it. They had the luxury of a TV show and being able to tell it over episodes. So I think waiting to put the Inhumans past Infinity War and clearly past it makes sense. And I really do like the idea of somehow incorporating that with Fantastic Four. I think Phase 4 is really going to need a jolt of some newness, and that makes sense with the Fantastic Four. And we should be so lucky that we get them because it's good that they bombed, because that means Fox doesn't want anything else to do with them anymore.
Yeah, so that's purely a theory. But the Fantastic Four were introduced in issue 45 of Fantastic Four. So that's kind of, I feel like maybe they could tie it in together a little bit better, and maybe make their Phase 4 a little more sci-fi rather than grounded, and like you said, introduce a new era of Marvel Studios that they're bold with. So I'm sad Inhumans no longer has a release date. Pretty tore up, to be honest with you. But at the same time, I'm sure there's a bright side to all this, that we're going to get something better than we ever thought, and just let Phase 4 end on an Avengers note rather than an Inhumans note. So, anyway.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, Chris.
Right, yeah, lots of whiskey. But the last thing I want to talk about, Inhumans, there's a rumor I read, and this is where we're going to start one rumor leading to another, is that, they're taking off Inhumans because obviously the mutants are coming to Marvel. No. Fox is not giving up on their mutants. I think they're doubling down, if not tripling down, on mutants.
Yeah, if anything, also, I think Fox has another reboot in them, as in, I think they could reboot their entire franchise in like 10 years with all fresh everything, get rid of all the actors and actresses, and I think we would still be okay with it. So I think they got another good 20 years out of their X-Men.
Yeah.
But I would say that I've been hearing rumors that they could be open to like crossovers in the future.
The Deadpool director is, but I don't think the studio as a whole is ready to share with Marvel, because X-Men's a moneymaker for them, as we can tell from Deadpool alone. That's a pure profit movie there. So either way, the mutants are not coming to Marvel. Give it up, people. Shut up, STFU. Get over it.
Making Chris mad.
Right? The broccoli is almost steamed, my friends. Almost. However, my broccoli might get a little more steamed when we talk about Star Wars Episode 8.
Ooh, Star Wars, yes.
That's, again, you're getting more subtle with your Star Wars calls. I like it.
Man, I gotta wait until we get something big, you know? Yeah. I gotta keep the voice retired for now.
So, this rumor from Star Wars, again, I read it online, but it's also, I talked about superfan Jim about it, because he's a big Star Wars fan, is that the supposed plot of Episode 8 leaked online. And by leaked online, it means someone wrote up a post on Reddit and said it was a leaked thing, and the news stories are just running with it. So you got to take this with a huge grain of salt. By grain of salt, I mean this is totally false. But have you read it? Are you familiar with this? Am I about to lay some news on you?
I have not seen it, but I was, funny enough, talking about Rey's lineage on Friday night when I was walking to dinner with some friends.
Okay.
So, I mean, Rey is still always in the back of my head.
So, yes, this involves Rey's lineage. In that Episode 8 is like, it starts off where Rey thinks that Luke is her father, but Luke says, no, you are my father. Okay. All right, hold on. And that she is the reincarnation of the Chosen One. So technically, yeah. So the Chosen One is like reincarnated. No. This rumor is so stupid, and the more I think about it, the more I'm like, oh, I'm just laughing because it's so fun.
No, well, it's so dumb.
It's really dumb because first off, that would ruin the Skywalker name, right?
Plus the stupid theory where they cloned Rey from Luke's lopped off arm makes more sense than that.
Well, I hadn't heard that one yet, but yeah, it does sound.
Oh,
better.
You haven't heard that one? Yeah, some people are saying that. Like at the same time when someone went and retrieved Luke's lightsaber in Cloud City, someone also took his hand and they decided to clone him from his hand or something like that, and that's how we got Rey. I mean, I hope that's not it, but I like that a lot more than this weird reincarnation bullshit.
Yeah, so apparently like the Chosen One is always like brought into the universe when there's imbalance in the Force. I'm like, but then how many kids does this Chosen One have over the span of its lifetime, right? Like, like it's no longer about Skywalkers at that point. It's become stupid and dumb and really out of control. But I don't think it's true. I just want to put that in the bud. Like, this is very much a rumor, and it's a very stupid rumor, and there's nothing backing it up, so shut up.
Yeah. Listen here. There's 3 scenarios in my head that I think are likely to happen. The first scenario is she is related to the main protagonist in Rogue One. I forgot the character's name. Do you remember?
Oh man, you put me on the spot here. No,
I don't remember.
Yep.
Think about it.
Sorry.
Okay. Theory 2, she's related to Obi-Wan Kenobi. If she's gotta be related to somebody, don't make it a Skywalker. Make it Obi-Wan. Everybody likes Obi-Wan, and I'm hoping we get that Obi-Wan standalone movie. I think that would be cool. Maybe we can tie into the lineage there a little bit. And I guess technically those two theories could cross because maybe Obi-Wan got a little fresh there. But that would be kind of like old man with a younger woman. So maybe not. Just kidding. Scratch that.
Jyn Erso is her name.
Yeah, that's right. And theory 3 is she's not related to fucking anybody because it's a huge galaxy with billions of people in it. And guess what? Not everybody's related. But this rumor that we were talking about, that's crazy.
Yeah, so I watched The Force Awakens again last night before bed. And to me, and people are going to hate me for this, it doesn't get any better with me as I watch it. Like, this is a movie that I like less and less upon more viewings. I don't hate it. I just don't have that enthusiasm for it as I did last year whenever I first saw it. And the more I watch it, the more it kind of indicates that she is related to Luke somehow with the way Han Solo looks at her, the way Kylo Ren sees islands of water in her mind before she ever actually goes there, and that's where Luke is. So to me, I think she's related to Luke, but we'll have to figure that out. And I think, we're going to get more and more information, probably San Diego Comic-Con or some other event later this year. So hopefully a title. I really want a title. I hate saying episode 8. Give us a good title. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
the Force makes breakfast.
Sure, why not? It can...
Get it? The Force awakens. The Force makes breakfast.
Ouch. Then what's
episode 9? The Force makes a shower.
It makes a shower. It takes a shower.
Takes a shower.
It gets dressed.
Makes a shower. Takes a shower. Gets dressed.
Goes to work.
The Force goes to the office. The Force has lunch at his desk while watching YouTube videos. The Force gets bored. Wanders into the kitchen and gets a snack.
Of a pickled comic right here. You should totally.
The Force drives home stuck in traffic. The Force makes dinner. The Force goes to sleep.
All right.
Okay, let's
stop.
go.
I'm gonna cut you off there. So yeah, there's Star Wars rumors out there. Don't believe anything you hear until we get official confirmation from Star Wars / Lucasfilm / Disney. So, boom, there you go. Don't read everything. Don't believe everything you read. So on that note, right before we started this show, Mike watched a trailer. I watched a trailer.
Yeah.
Jason Bourne, the first theatrical trailer.
Yes, this is it's so weird because it's so hard to separate teaser trailers from trailer ones now because they almost seem identical to each other. They just add a little bit more for the first theatrical trailer. But yeah, this was the first trailer. So what did you think?
I go back and forth on how I feel about this. I'm really excited for Jason Bourne and Matt Damon to be back. Mm-hmm. However, there's this more mystery added in there that I'm like, I thought we got rid of a lot of mystery. Like, what other mystery can they add in there? Is he the chosen one now? Like, is he Rey's father? I don't know. But I mean, I'm really excited. The action looks great. Again, the one punch to the guy in the boxing ring like takes him out. Tommy Lee Jones, anytime he's in a movie, he's good. They're bringing back the 10 Things I Hate About You girl. I think Julia Stiles. So I'm glad they're like bringing a lot of characters back into it, but I mean, I don't know. I guess I need to see something a little more substantial rather than just making me ask more questions than I had going in.
Yeah, it's so funny because I like the idea of Matt Damon coming back. I love the idea that Paul Greengrass is coming back, and I think I actually heard that this story that they're adapting is from the original author of the stories. I don't know if it's based off another book or they called him up on the phone and asked him what Jason Bourne should be doing now. But either way, all of that stuff sounds good on paper. And there's good stuff in the trailer, but the trailer isn't specifically like special or unique. It's just kind of like action scenes and more Jason Bourne stuff. So it's kind of just like, well, I'm glad we're getting more Jason Bourne. And this all looks how it's supposed to. It's just not a very exciting trailer. It just kind of looks like a general action trailer. I'm not even sure they could have cut it to be any different. I'm going to watch the movie because I love that original Jason Bourne trilogy. It's awesome. So, yeah, the trailer just doesn't necessarily get me hype, but I'm looking forward to this.
So the original author died in 91, so I don't think they're going to call him up on the phone. Or 2001, I don't think they're going to call him up on the phone, but I don't know. If there's a story they're pulling from, I'm really excited to see what it is. There are other Bourne movies that came out after he died, written by Eric Van Lustbader. And he wrote, like, I think 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... maybe 10 of them. So,
oh, geez, there's I didn't realize the Bourne book universe was so expanded.
Yeah, there were 3 by Robert Ludlum, and those were like the 80s, like 1980 to 1990, and then it picked back up to 2004 with the movies. So, I don't know. I'm really excited for Jason Bourne. I like the character. I like the stuff. We haven't seen it in 10 years, so hopefully it's not the same thing we had 10 years ago, and it's, they take it in a new direction. So count me in. We're there. I don't know if we'll do a spoiler cast on it, but we'll be there. The hell with it. Also, another movie we will probably go catch is Jurassic World 2. We both like the last one, right? We like Jurassic World.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
They have a director, and the director is J.A. Bayona.
Okay, who's that?
He did The Orphanage.
Okay.
In case you watch it. I don't know. His name's Juan Antonio Bayona. He's gotten Goya awards for best directors and best new directors. And he's done, television commercials, music videos. He's Spanish, but I don't know. I mean, I think Jurassic World was great for what it was, and putting a new person behind it.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe we both don't know this off the top of our head. But wasn't one of the Fast and the Furious directors? Didn't they have an origin of horror movie directing? If I remember right.
I think James Wan, the next Fast and Furious movie director, or the last one, he's doing Aquaman. I believe he had horror in his blood as well. Yeah,
so maybe this is a new trend where these horror directors, because I mean it makes sense. I mean you have to usually you get a lot of your story from the script, but obviously the director is supposed to adapt that story to the screen, and the director has tons of other shit to do too. But they're the ones that really draw into the suspense. They're the ones really orchestrating everything that you're seeing on the screen. So it makes sense that, and they're usually doing it with a low budget too. Horror movies usually have low budgets. So I guess it makes sense to kind of bring them up and be like, hey, you did a really good job with this small amount of money. Here's a lot more money. Now start doing action. And apparently it's working out.
Yeah, Bayona also did a movie called The Impossible, which had Naomi Watson, Ewan McGregor, and Tom Holland in it. About the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami. It's kind of maybe a disaster film. So I think he's got two really good films. He's won a lot of awards. I don't think he's going to do anything bad. Jurassic World 2, we don't know where it's going to go, but I mean, as ballsy as the first one had to been, I'm glad they're stepping up and at least making a second Jurassic World 2. They'll need a new title. I don't know. Jurassic World: The Dinosaurs Awaken. I don't know. I'm gonna keep bringing it back to Star Wars today. I don't care. But so J.A. Bayona is going to be doing that. And I that's really all I got. I got nothing.
All right, that's cool.
We're excited for it. Let's see some dinosaurs. I'll watch it. We're gonna switch back into some superhero news with X-Men Apocalypse. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a new image with Jean holding Cyclops' head and aiming his optic blast out of his eyes.
Yes, because it doesn't look like Cyclops is going to become a leader anytime soon, because it looks like someone physically has to take his head and make him do things.
Well, I don't know if he's going to be a leader. I think it's more of those, he doesn't have his, glasses where he can hit the button and shoot the blast. And I've never seen him in the trailer, so maybe this is he loses his sunglasses. So why she has to do it with her hands and not do it telepathically, I don't know, but whatever. It looks okay. I watched the first X-Men again on Friday. It's okay. That movie's okay. It's a little cheesy now, but it was okay for the time. So hopefully this one doesn't have that cheese factor to it.
I'll drop another HBO Now plug. They have the Rogue Cut on HBO Now, which was crazy,
Really?
and I haven't watched it yet. So, bam, I'm gonna watch it.
Oh well, congratulations. That should be a fun time, maybe.
I just want to justify the $15 I'm going to be spending next month. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you got it, bub. I bought the Rogue Cut. And that was $20 alone. So I don't know what I'm thinking. You're doing better than I am at this point.
Yes.
So smart. A new image that just dropped yesterday or Friday, I don't forget, shows the first look at the Blob in Apocalypse.
Yeah, he's looking pretty gross.
He's looking gross, and he's looking pretty dead. If I was to put a guess on this. I can't tell if that's hair or fat folds on his head as he's laying down there.
I'm pretty sure it's fat folds, man. That's gross.
It looks pretty gross. This Blob looks much more like the comic book Blob than the one from the Origins movie. But we don't have to talk about it. Don't get upset. But we also see it looks like Angel with his angel wings is fighting him, and this is like a cage match kind of deal.
Yeah, something like that.
So I don't know how. And there's a guy with a shotgun in the back, so maybe they. It's like dog fighting, but with mutants in this universe.
Okay.
I don't know. It looks pretty rough, and it looks like the Blob has effectively been defeated by Angel, who just looks like a punk. So I don't know. It looks like this movie can get a little dark, probably a little darker than I thought it could.
Pretty gross.
Pretty gross indeed. So take a look at that Blob there if you're interested. If not, don't. I don't care. whatever. New trailer for X-Men Apocalypse was also classified. We didn't think we'd get a third one. We're going to get a third one. And it's 2 minutes and 33 seconds long. And when do you think that's going to hit?
Well, usually when they classify them, they're pretty close to coming around. I would think that maybe they want to get this prepared to attach in front of Civil War in some theaters. So I would expect maybe later this week, maybe early next week.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to go with this week simply because Civil War comes out in every other country but America this week. So I think they'll try to get a national thing and try to piggyback off that because, again, X-Men Apocalypse is May 23rd, I'm pretty sure, or at least in that range. Which is right around the corner. I can't believe, or May 27th. It's right around the corner. I can't believe how close it is. And
so this is going to be the, I guess, technically fourth trailer if you count the Super Bowl trailer. But when I looked into the Days of Future Past trailers, I'm looking forward to this one specifically because we're going to get hopefully maybe a little bit of different style of trailer for this last one because they progressively got a little bit more entertaining when it came to Days of Future Past. So I think this one will be the one maybe we've been waiting for.
Got the golden ticket for Mike right here. Sell that X-Men Apocalypse and IMAX ticket right here to Mike. Do it. Come on, Fox, you can do it. We know you can. So if it comes out this week, we'll be talking about it next week. If it comes out next week, well, I guess we'll be talking about it before then or after then because that's what we do, right? We just do the news next week. Another bit of fun news in the X-Men universe is Deadpool is coming early to home release, and that's this Tuesday.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
And an unprecedented move. I mean, it's probably been precedented before. I just didn't look into it. We weren't expecting the digital at least until the first week of May for this one. But they were like, Deadpool's coming early. Wink, wink. Hint, hint. Suggestive, tweet. So it's coming out this Tuesday. What's the date on that, Mike? I believe it's the 26th. So are you going to pick it up? I know you're digital only kind of guy. So.
Oh, yeah. You know I'm digital only, man. I'm really looking forward to seeing Deadpool again. I love these these digital releases being available first. The studios are basically just like, hey, we've pretty much gotten every cent that we can get out of this movie in the theaters, and it's about to leave theaters anyway. Let's just go ahead and put it out on digital. We're going to help prevent some piracy because people are going to want to watch the movie. And there's always been that time period between when the movie leaves theaters and before the movie comes out on digital release where people are just going to go on the internet and grab it if they really want it. So yeah, just give it to us ready on digital. I think that's perfect. That's the best way to go with it.
See, I agree with you, and I think if I pre-order the movie, they should give me a digital code for that early download as well.
Oh, yeah,
but
sure.
They don't, but I wish that was the case because I would totally be pre-ordering these movies like there was no tomorrow if I could get it on digital early and wait till I go pick up the DVD. So, so that's cool. So if you guys want Deadpool, pick it up this week, man. Get it. Let us know. Go look at our... Listen to our spoiler cast.
Listen. Yeah, that's the best. That's the best way to digest what we're doing.
You can watch it on YouTube. Okay, okay. You can watch them. You can read those spoiler cast notes, but we don't have a lot of notes in those. We just kind of let it free flow there. So next year we hit Wolverine 3 next March, I believe. I believe it's March. And the newest rumored character to be in the film is X-23. Are you familiar with X-23?
Yes, X-23 is basically the two-clawed female Wolverine. She was part of the Weapon X program.
She's a clone. She's a clone of Wolverine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not up to date on a lot of the new stuff that's going on with Marvel, but they've basically turned her into the new Wolverine, right?
Right. In the Marvel Universe, the original Wolverine character has essentially died for the time being until they want to bring him back. So someone had to take up his mantle, and X-23, the clone of Wolverine, has done so. She has 2 claws in her hands and one in each foot. So she has 3, but the third one's on her feet that she can kick out and kick people with. They're doing some casting for the film, and one of the descriptions sounds eerily like X-23, very specific, and that's where this rumor comes from. So they're moving their way along with the movie, and I think X-23 would be a good addition to the X-Men universe. They use her a lot in the all-new X-Men stuff. She's really big in comics right now, and I don't think there'd be an easier way to put her in there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense. I mean, if you're going to phase out basically your most famous X-Men in your movie franchise, you got to bring in kind of a new Wolverine, and we're all about progress here at Superhero Slate, so I like it when they're bringing in more lead female roles. So I think it'd be cool to have like a sweet, awesome female Wolverine type character. So
how would they send her back to the past since this one's in the future?
Oh, I don't know. They'll find a way.
All right, that's cool. I'm just asking. Just brainstorming here, guys. Let's have it a little bit. Come on. Oh well. And also in terms of the X-Men universe, X-Force. Okay, it's a movie.
Hey, just put her in X-Force. There you go. She doesn't have to travel in time anywhere.
Well, if she's in Wolverine 3, that's the future. Then X-Force would have to be somewhere. So.
But so there's like 3 timelines in this freaking Fox universe now. It's so confusing.
No, it's all one timeline. It's just the Wolverine 3 will be set in the future.
I know, it's confusing, okay?
Oh, okay. All right. Easy, buddy. You want to talk about aliens and Prometheus? So
it get me frustrated. I haven't eaten my breakfast yet.
Oh.
Let's move along.
Okay, fine. We'll move along. X-Force, the Deadpool director, Tim Miller, wants this to be R-rated. He wants an R-rated X-Force film. And
awesome.
I agree with that, not because Deadpool, but because that's a wet work team. Like, they're very much assassins and killing people before problems become bigger problems.
Yeah, I like how we're kind of getting this microcosm of a Deadpool universe. We have like the overall Marvel movie universes, then it's separated into studios, and then the studios separated into the franchises, and now we're getting these little micro, like, okay, we're going to get Deadpool, Deadpool 2, Deadpool's more than likely going to be an X-Force, so let's go ahead and make that rated R2, and we're going to bring in Cable, but they're not really going to influence any other of the stories, so I kind of like that. We got this own little Deadpool bubble.
Yeah, no, it'll be cool. I really want to see X-Force. I think it'll be fun and interesting and something new that Fox could really capitalize on rather than trying to do anything else. So,
before I forget, this is going to be the 3rd time I'm going to plug HBO Now. They have Kingsman on there, and it just made me think about it because we're talking about rated R stuff. And I like how Kingsman never gets the credit for being kind of the rated R comic book movie that came out a year before Deadpool. Be like, yes, we all know about Blade. We all know there's other rated R comic book stuff. But Kingsman kind of reinvigorated it in my point of view. I mean, Deadpool really knocked it out of the park. But Kingsman loaded the bases.
Well, that's, it is. It is. So it sounds like HBO has a deal with Fox going on right now, because those are all Fox movies you got.
Yeah, now you say it makes sense.
Okay, well, that's cool. Yeah, go watch Kingsman on your HBO Go for your free month before you watch Game of Thrones tonight. Do it. You won't. You're all talk. All right. Wonder Woman is a movie that's coming up, and we have an image of Connie Nielsen playing Queen Hippolyta, the queen of Themyscira, on horseback. And while this is very unremarkable in and of itself, I think the aesthetics and style they're applying to Wonder Woman are very, very awesome. It looks like they're going a little extra mile to make things look authentic and unique and kind of not CGI. And
yeah, it looks like she's got a raccoon chilling on her shoulder there.
Yeah, who wouldn't? I mean, that's what Amazonians are known for, is their raccoons.
Chris is like, I want to get all over that shoulder.
Yeah, but so I really applaud them for kind of going that extra step with the actual props and costumes and horses instead of a CGI horse. So
yeah, I've noticed our show takes on a different quality when we record on Mayan in the morning. So I like it how our shows can be this different range depending on what time of the day we record.
What do you mean by range, Mike?
Man, I'm just all over the place today.
You're scattered.
I'm easily voicing my opinion. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, a little more freedom. Are you drunk? Is that what you're trying to tell us?
No, not man. If I was drunk by 11 in the morning, that'd be bad.
That would be bad, or really good. I don't know. It's Purdue's Grand Prix this week, Mike. You could be celebrating. So, either way, we're gonna skip on to the next DC movie, The Flash. Got some news about the Flash movie. Okay, not the show. Potential characters that they're casting for right now are Iris West, Eobard Thawne, Lynn Snart, and Jay Garrick. 4 characters we know very much from the comic or the TV show version. And, they're not the exact same versions. So when we say Leonard Snart, Captain Cold, he's not the same Captain Cold / Leonard Snart that we know from the TV show. This guy is more of a, I think it's a friend of Wally West and very up in on technology and stuff like that. So, and Eobard Thawne takes the role of Harrison Wells from the TV show. But at the end, there's a new character here, Fred Kyer, and he's supposed to be Wally West's best friend. So, not Wally West. Oh, what's the other one? Barry Allen. Sorry, it's Barry Allen. Wally West is the other Flash. I apologize.
Don't you remember Wally West's legs got crushed in Batman vs Superman? Because why else would they name a character Wally and beat it over the head?
Yeah,
it makes no sense.
I don't, man. I don't. It's too early in the day for me to go there. So Fred Kyer is a new character who says it's Barry Allen's best friend kind of deal, and they're casting for these characters, so we may see some of them show up, we may not. I don't know. But a lot of those we may recognize from the TV show because they're working out so well there. So anything you want to add on the Flash movie?
Not a whole lot. DC's got to get me excited before I'm getting excited about a movie that's a couple years old.
Great, then we're going to skip right over to the Green Lantern Corps, another ballsy movie for DC. In that news, the rumor is that there are 3 kind of main characters, with Hal Jordan being an older, kind of grizzled Green Lantern, with 2 younger, trainees under him, being John Stewart and Kyle Rayner. Kyle Rayner is one of my favorite Green Lanterns, and I think it would be interesting to see how they do that, seeing as the Corps having a lot of Green Lanterns, bringing a lot of powers. It's going to be a very CG-heavy film, much like the last one. Hopefully they don't make the super suit CGI. Even Deadpool pokes fun at that, so don't do that. Green Lantern Corps is ballsy, seeing as how bad the first Green Lantern kind of was received. So hopefully they take some time and do that one right for us, because I really like Green Lantern. It's one of my favorite DC characters, at least.
Well, I mean, if they're taking Inhumans away from you, maybe you got to get your Green Lanterns.
Man, I just give up on liking things, so they're just gonna bury it all in the ground. Anything I like, I'm going hipster. I liked it before it was cool, but. Something that I'm probably not gonna like is the TV show Krypton.
Oh yeah,
we
talked about this, like, I want to say months ago. Like, this was last year.
Yeah, it pops up every 6 months. But the series is apparently very close to a pilot order at Sci-Fi. Like, we could see this possibly this fall.
See, I was always imagining this maybe going to a network, and then the networks were just like, no, this show sounds dumb, and then Sci-Fi is like, we'll take it. We need some superhero stuff.
We don't have a show.
I'm not really looking forward to Krypton. I mean, being said though, Krypton was kind of more of the interesting parts of the Man of Steel movie. But I just can't imagine them developing a whole show around that. Like, Krypton is this futuristic, space city, like, on a sci-fi budget. I mean, I don't know.
Well, the thing is, it would take place around Superman's grandfather, and like how he got into it with all the other Kryptonian people, and why his family was kind of like outcasts / exiles or something. So I don't know. It doesn't really sell me either. But again, I'm not watching Supergirl, and I'm not really thrilled to get more into the Superman world myself. So and again, it's sci-fi. So you're right. The last comic book thing they did that I know of was Man Thing, which was a Marvel straight to TV film from 2005.
But I will give them some credit though. They do have Z Nation, which is a zombie show from the studio my wife works for, and it doesn't make me sound impartial, but the show is actually pretty entertaining. But also they do have a sci-fi show called The Expanse that apparently is really good, and I haven't had a chance to watch it just because it's on Hulu, but apparently I still need a cable subscription to watch it, so maybe eventually I'll be able to watch a season of it. But I'm not saying necessarily Sci-Fi is a bad show, but a bad network, but I mean, I already didn't care about Krypton. It was going to have to probably be on HBO for me to be interested in Krypton, or Showtime, some sort of premium network.
Yeah, I just don't know what they can do. It just sounds cheesy in my head. I'm making the show in my head, and it seems like they're trying really hard, but not really getting there. So yeah. I don't think Sci-Fi's not. Did the Sci-Fi do Battlestar Galactica?
I don't know, probably.
I feel like that was their last good show, and they've been trying to play catch up ever since. So
yeah, but I do notice you were talking about cheesy things, and I think that really leads us into this next chunk of, I don't even know what it is. I kind of didn't even read this note, so I'm waiting for you to explain.
I don't know how you didn't read this note. This note takes up probably a third of our notes page. But the Hasbro Cinematic Universe has got a lot of information come out this week, and I don't know how to take it. So first off, we talked about the Hasbro Cinematic Universe as a combination of G.I. Joe, Micronauts, Visionaries, Mask, and ROM. Okay?
And I only know what one of those things are.
Mask? Is it Mask? No, I'm kidding. So it does not involve Transformers, sadly. However, I do know G.I. Joe and ROM. ROM's like the Space Knight, and I think Micronauts were comics as well. But they've got this team together. We've talked about this they had a Transformers writing team. Well, it seems like they also collaborated on another team to make the Hasbro Cinematic Universe work. And they've brought in some really big names. The head person is Akiva Goldsman, who wrote A Beautiful Mind. And
okay.
he's like the Kevin Feige of this cinematic universe. So,
oh man, okay.
So he's is better than DC. They have a showrunner here, okay? Give him that.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. They've also got Michael Chabon, who wrote parts of Spider-Man 2.
All right, that was a good Spider-Man, so that's positive.
Brian K. Vaughan, who writes the comic Saga and Y: The Last Man.
Ooh, now that makes me interested.
Okay, and
Brian K. Vaughan is awesome.
Nicole Perlman, who wrote the first treatment of Guardians of the Galaxy and is writing Captain Marvel.
Ooh, okay, so this sounds like a lot of good people being paid a lot of money to care about this universe that nobody else cares about.
Right, and then some others they brought on were Lindsay Beer, Transformers 5, I don't care. Chio Coker, who is the showrunner for Luke Cage.
Okay.
John Francis Daly and Jonathan Goldstein, who are writing Spider-Man Homecoming. Joe Robert Cole, who did the show People vs. O.J. Simpson and worked on the Black Panther somewhere. Jeff Pinkner is doing the Dark Tower adaptation. I don't know who Nicole Regal is, but she apparently had a script called Dogfight that was purchased. And Geneva Robertson, who's working on the new Tomb Raider movie.
Jesus, this is crazy that so now when we announce universes, we need to announce that there's people getting ready. I just imagine like you said, they're making like a team. Like I imagine they got them all like NASCAR uniforms, and they just like put them all in like a boardroom. They're like, okay, we brought you all here. We wrote all these really nice checks for you. Now turn all of these weird toys and comic book properties into a universe.
Make it cohesive.
Just kind of like stare. Yeah, they just like stare blankly at you like. Be like, hey, if you want to cash that check.
So I imagine they're doing that game called Heads Up, where they each get the show they're working on, and they put it above their head, and someone has to describe it to them, and then that's how they're taking notes. Or more like a Justice League kind of thing, where they're all sitting around like a U-shaped chair, and they're like, all right, we have one duty here, and we have to make it work.
They're playing all these really weird party games to see who gets what. Everybody's crossing their fingers that they get G.I. Joe because it's like the one thing that they're familiar with. And then like somebody gets like Visionaries. They're like, what the? Then they like lean over to the person next to them like, do you know what this is? I'm never fucking. What is this? They're like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so they got a lot of big names involved here, and I just like, okay, that's cool. Let's do it. Let's see what happens. And I guess we'll see what happens. Again, I don't know. They got big names here, but I don't know if it's really going to go anywhere.
Who knows? If this is a way for Brian K. Vaughan to get Saga or Y: The Last Man into the big screen, I would be okay with that. Brian K. Vaughan, just whore yourself out to this weird-ass universe that we're probably going to get maybe a third of the way through before it gets canceled. And then we're going to get freaking Saga. Man, Saga on the big screen would be amazing.
Yeah, it really would. I mean, it's a great series. People should check it out. I think every first trade out of Image is only $10, so feel free to go check that out. But, I mean, I don't know when this is going to go, but they got a lot of Marvel people involved in here, so that's something. And we'll see how it goes. We'll keep you guys updated. I'm sure you're sitting on the edge of your seats now waiting to see how that plays out. In the meantime, we're going to talk about Independence Day Resurgence. The new trailer came out, trailer number 2. This one, I don't know what to do about this trailer.
I envision myself thinking... that doesn't make any sense. I envision that you put this at the very end of the show notes because we weren't going to have much to say on it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, this was very much at the end. But, I mean, to me, it's like, okay, they've got a bigger ship that's the size of the Atlantic Ocean is what I get. It's got its own gravity. Yeah, it's got its own gravity. It makes sense why things going up. It looks like a destruction porn kind of film. Like that's the way to describe it. It's just we're going to blow things up. Things are going to get destroyed. People are going to die. It's world cataclysm, but there's going to be one crazy man who flies into something and shoots it at the end and saves the whole world. It's an Independence Day again, but like just bigger and more better CG now after 20 years. But I don't know. I guess at least they acknowledge it's been 20 years. That's one thing. It's not trying to say this is like the next year. 20 years later. But I don't know. I'm going to see it, but I think this is going to be one of those where I turn my thinking cap off and just coast with it.
Yeah, probably like the same strategy with Jurassic World. just go in with like a pretty low bar just to have fun. I mean, I'm just happy to see Jeff Goldblum just pal around. I mean, I'm sure he's going to buy a couple more houses for doing this movie. But
well, if he does good, maybe he'll come back for Jurassic World 2.
Maybe.
I'm crossing my fingers for you, buddy. That's for you. Yeah. So, Independence Day Resurgence trailer number 2. Check it out. Watch it. Get excited, I guess. Sure, do whatever you want. Here's a bit of interesting, controversial news out of this week is the first look at Elizabeth Banks as Rita Repulsa. And
you mean Poison Ivy?
Poison Ivy in the Power Rangers movie. So, to me, she looks like the incarnation of the Dragon Zord. Mm-hmm. Like, she's got the green and the gold from the Dragon Zord. So do you think that she will be in control of a Dragon Zord fighting the Power Rangers?
I don't know. I'm not up on my Power Rangers lore, but sure. I'm sure no one's going to be.
This is just from like there's a Dragon Zord, and usually the Green Ranger pilots it, but now we have a Green Witch.
I'm sure nobody will be mad with whatever decisions they try to take for this movie. I don't know. It looks weird. I mean, Elizabeth Banks in a kind of a serious role. I mean, the show is always really wacky, so who knows what tone they're gonna take. I don't know. She looks just really bizarre.
She looks dirty and maybe like Enchantress from Suicide Squad a little bit.
Yeah, like a lot of people were saying like, oh, if Poison Ivy was in Zack Snyder's cinematic universe, this is what she would look like. And I was like, yeah, I could kind of see that.
I can kind of see it, but I mean, honestly, to me, it's very airbrushed, very like Photoshoppy. Like, it looks like they took her face and just made it Photoshoppy rather than actually had her stand in the light, I guess. But at the same time, like, I don't care enough about this. Like, this doesn't offend me.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it. We don't care enough about it.
We don't care enough. It doesn't offend me. I mean, Power Rangers, like, if you want something true to the Power Rangers, go watch the first Power Rangers movie because that did not work out at all. That was so bad. Let them have some fun with this and go do something new.
Yeah, the show you remember as a child, 1000% does not hold up. First of all, it was a Frankenstein creation of another Japanese show mixed in with some American actors. So, who knows? Yeah, just go balls to the wall. Just give us something that I might enjoy.
Go wild, money. That's what I'm talking about. Like, power up or something, or whatever the Power Rangers say. I don't know.
Okay.
All right, last bit of news. Last bit of news for the day. Blade Runner 2 has been moved up 3 months to October 6, 2017.
It sounds like they want to steer clear of Star Wars.
Yeah, both Harrison Ford properties, I guess, except he's not really going to be in the next one. But I mean, that's good. I think that they have faith in it. I mean, again, I'd rather have a movie move up than backwards. But that's cool. I guess Blade Runner 2, Harrison Ford, Ryan Gosling, more people we've announced, but I've forgotten their names by now because there's just so much going on. So
I feel like it's only a matter of time until Ryan Gosling pops up in a superhero movie in some capacity.
What would you put him as?
I don't know. I feel like he's the type of guy that doesn't really want to be boiled down and tied to a franchise. But so I could see him maybe being a villain.
Yeah, a Marvel villain that gets offed at the end of the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I could maybe see him being a henchman of a higher villain. Like maybe like one of Thanos' generals or something like that.
I don't know if he would go for henchman status. I think he wants to be like first villain Banana.
But, see, I don't think he has that kind of commanding presence though that like someone like Thanos or something would need. I think he could be like a Corvus Glaive like from Marvel's Infinity event a few years back, like one of those like has a whole movie to himself, but in the end, Thanos is going to be the bigger gun behind him.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't think we're going to be casting a Ryan Gosling as Apocalypse anytime soon. So
no, they've already cast him as Poe Dameron, so whatever. We'll move on from that. At the end of the day, Mike, this has been I guess another big week of news. We got a lot of stuff going on here, but it sounds like your comic books, or your not comics, your pickled comics are becoming coming up rather frequently every week. Where can they find those at?
Well, as always, you can follow me at Mike Royer Design on Instagram and Twitter, and you can read my webcomics at pickledcomics.com. Chris, you write stuff on the internet, some nerdy stuff. Where can they find that?
You can find it on comicui.com or on Facebook on comicui, or follow me on Twitter, Valdan, Valdan. Last Friday, I live tweeted my viewing of X-Men, the movie, and I have to do X-Men 2 sometime this week. So if you want to, I'll let someone know when I'm going to do that. It's probably before Friday, but I'm going to be live tweeting the next like 4 X-Men movies this week some point because I got to catch up to watch Apocalypse next month. So, but maybe you'll live tweet Deadpool, Mike. I'll follow that. I'd watch that. But yeah, so as always, people are listening to us now, but where can they find us, including a new location?
Ooh, well, let me know if you can spot the new cool location when I rail off this list. As always, please visit superheroslate.com. That is the best place to find all the outlets for the show. You can find us on iTunes, YouTube, Google Play Music, finally.
Whoa, there it is.
SoundCloud, Stitcher, Tumblr. You can subscribe to us. Just get us directly in your email inbox. You can like us on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter. If you're a fan of the show, head on over to any of these outlets where you can review stuff and leave us a review. That helps us pop up in search engines a little bit better. If you're a super fan of the show, just share the show with a buddy. Spread the love of Superhero Slate. And let us know if Google Play Music works out for you. It's kind of weird. It's like I've never seen Google so late to the party with something like podcasts. They should have been like doing this years ago. And you can only view the page if you're like logged into a Google account, so they're already like fencing people out that just don't have a Google account or just aren't logged in. So yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
TLDR, you can't do it on an iPhone either.
So this is mainly for you Android power users out there.
Yes, because I know YouTube eats a lot of bandwidth. So if you want to subscribe to us via Google Play Music, we are one of the first podcasts on there. Get on us.
Yeah.
I guess,
Okay,
whatever. Sorry, I'm really excited. It's like 2 p.m. here. I'm ready to roll.
Yeah, you got stuff to do. I hope everybody looks forward to Game of Thrones tonight. I think right after Game of Thrones is Silicon Valley, which is this awesome comedy series about tech startups. They're starting season 3, so you might need to go back and binge watch the first 2 seasons.
It has TJ Miller, who was Weasel in Deadpool.
Yeah, and the whole cast is hilarious. But yeah, it's been another week. We had a lot of news. We had a lot of stuff. Nothing huge and groundbreaking, like we usually seem to have in these last couple weeks. But that Civil War is coming
so soon. And so help me God, if anyone ruins it for me, I will find you and hunt you down. So, but
all right. Well, we'll be at a fever pitch next week because that'll be the last episode before we see Civil War.
Yay.
So we'll see you next week, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe.